Hello, and welcome to our Bowie Business Recovery Roundtable, Bowie State University Procurement Opportunities. My name is Lisa Smith. I'm the Executive Director of the Bowie Business Innovation Center. We are a business acceleration hub for City of Bowie businesses and Prince George's County businesses located on the campus of Bowie State University. And next month, we will be relocating to the brand new Entrepreneurship Living Learning Center building on the campus of Bowie State University, something we are truly looking forward to. So we have a very special interest in this session today. This roundtable is part of an 8-month Bowie Business Recovery Program, which is a collaboration between the Bowie BIC and the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce. This program is designed to accelerate the economic recovery of Bowie businesses and businesses in Prince George's County. The program is funded by the City of Bowie. Our session today is being recorded and it will be posted on the bowiebusinessrecovery.com website after the event. We are in for a truly special treat today with our three speakers. The president of Bowie State University, Dr. Aminta Bro, Steve Jost, Director of Procurement for Bowie State University, and our moderator, Eben Smith, who is known to many of you as the president and CEO of 3E Consulting, but he's better known to us as a member of the Bowie BIC Board of Directors. And so Eben's already alerted you all to the fact that you need to put your questions in the chat because you have so many of you attending today, which is wonderful. And so having said all that, I'm going to say over to you, Eben. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Again, my name is Eben Smith, president of 3E Consulting Group. We're a local minority business located in National Harbor, Maryland. And I'm going to stop talking about myself because we got somebody else on the line that, I just want to brag on for a quick second. And I'm not going to steal her thunder, but we do have Dr. Bro, who's the 10th and first woman president in the institution's 153-year history. But that's not what I want to say. What I want to say is I am just truly excited and very happy for her leadership because, and she's going to talk about this a little bit, but under her leadership, she's recently completed a $42 million entrepreneurship hub and dormitory building called the Entrepreneurship Living Learning Community. And it's a resident hall to 500 students, a student business incubator, and a platform for the university to partner with businesses and communities in Greater Washington. So we're truly pleased to have her here today, and we thank her for her leadership. So with that, I'll stop and I'll turn it over to her to let her talk about the exciting things that are upcoming with Bowie State University.
Thank you, Eben, and good afternoon, everyone. It is truly a joy to be with you today. I hope everyone is staying well, and I'll look forward to welcoming you here in person on the campus of Bowie State University very soon. And I'm hoping we can do that, especially this year during homecoming, if not sooner. A lot of change happening here at Bowie State University, and I want to thank Eben as well as Lisa Smith for the wonderful partnership we enjoy with the Bowie BIC. It's been wonderful to have you on the campus, and I'm even more excited about that ribbon cutting that will be taking place in August, coming up very soon. Joining me today, and you'll hear from him in just a little while, is Steve Jost, the head of procurement at Bowie State University, and he's here today to share a lot of information with you because we are open for business and want to be a greater part of the community because there is so much excitement and opportunity ahead for BSU, but for the entire community. It has been a long road getting to our upcoming fall semester, and we're now just a few weeks away from celebrating that ribbon cutting that I was mentioning. It will be home, the new Entrepreneurship Living Learning Community will be home to three components. One is the wonderful residence hall space that we truly need to address the impact and the growth that we're experiencing, the great opportunity and the growth in our enrollment. We continue to see our enrollment growing among our first-year students as well as the general population. I'm sure many of you have seen that building. I hope you have. If you haven't, get out of your offices, get out of your homes and drive up 197. And you will see this amazing facility as you come up on 197. It was designed so that you could see it from a distance. And as you arrive toward the campus, you'll be asking yourself, what's going on at Bowie State University? I wanted to spark that curiosity so that everyone is thinking and knows about the excellence that we have here on the campus among our faculty, staff, and students. And so it's just at the front of our campus, and it will soon be filled with new and returning students in the residence hall space. That's one of the spaces that's there. The residence hall is designed to accommodate 550 new beds for students to stay on the campus. More have told us they want to be on the campus, and we want to accommodate them with that. Secondly, we will have the Entrepreneurship Center that will be home to the Entrepreneurship Academy, a group that's on an entity on our campus that is headed up by Ms. Janetta Hardy, and it infuses and integrates us into the entrepreneurial ecosystem throughout this region. It is focused on creating an entrepreneurial mindset for all of our students, and we have over 1,000 students now enrolled in our academy. And they are focused on creating new products, new businesses. But for us, and for me especially, I'm more focused on preparing our graduates to be more innovative, more creative as they enter workplaces, or indeed have to create a new product or a business or desire to do that. We want them to have the skill set and that entrepreneurial mindset as they graduate from BSU. And then along with Entrepreneurship Academy, that new facility will be home to the Bowie BIC, our partners. And we're excited about having the Entrepreneurship Academy and the Bowie BIC in one space together. And then the third entity in that facility will be a commercial space, some of which is designed to showcase businesses and new products that are developed by our faculty and our staff and students right here at BSU. The building will offer so many new amenities, and I hope once we're open, you'll come and you'll see firsthand just the impact that it has on the campus and for the larger community. And so we all know that we have faced challenges over this last year and a half, but I want you to know that Bowie State University has not been complacent. We didn't sit back and say, okay, we'll just wait until we get to a better time. We have a strategic plan entitled Racing to Excellence. And we have not only been racing, but we picked up pace during these times of challenges. And so I'm very pleased to let you know, in addition to our growth in enrollment, we're seeing a growth in many opportunities, new partners coming to us. And today is about ensuring that you know how you can connect with Bowie State University and be part of the Racing to Excellence vision, and making sure that you understand how you can connect with us and be part of this story. We have recently celebrated so many new exciting opportunities, including new partnerships, the growth that we've experienced, but we also realized the largest gift in the history of Bowie State University, a philanthropic gift from Mackenzie Scott of $25 million. $25 million. We have seen the settlement of a case in the state of Maryland that will bring additional funds for us to create new academic programs and have new innovation happening in the research areas, in teaching and learning here on the campus. And so these are just some of the new opportunities that have come our way, but we have also seen new partners come to us. We have joined the IBM HBCU Quantum Center. IBM is a wonderful supporter of Bowie State University. We have new partnerships with Google, with Amazon Web Services. We've teamed up with the feature film studio based in California, on the West Coast, Leica Studios, to build the first HBCU stop motion animation studio. We joined various other HBCUs as part of the HBCU Data Science Consortium. We also enhanced our computer science program by joining Apple's Community Education Initiative and Tennessee State University HBCU C2 initiative. We signed an articulation agreement with the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. We became part of Battelle's HBCU consortium, offering greater opportunities for students in the STEM areas. And recently it was announced that we are now in a new partnership with Novartis. We're in a new partnership with the Baltimore Ravens as they are providing $1 million to Bowie State University for a new scholarship in the name of Ozzie Newsome, the first African-American general manager for the Ravens. These are just some of the exciting happenings happening at Bowie State University that will allow us to create greater growth, excitement, and new programs and services for our students, faculty, staff, and to enrich the larger community. Our successes have been due in part, as I said, to the momentum that we have picked up during this last year. And so we remain Bowie bold. And I again appreciate you being here today to hear about how you can be part of the story and partner with the Bowie Business Innovation Center, the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce, and all of our faculty and staff that have helped us on our Racing to Excellence journey and staying Bowie bold. So with that, I will hand things back to Mr. Smith. And please, again, stay well, stay safe, and I invite you to come and visit BSU firsthand. And finally, before I leave you, right behind me, so if you wondered about that center, you will see right behind me on the virtual screen is a rendition of that building, the Entrepreneurship Living Learning Community, but I invite you to come and see it firsthand. Take care, everybody. Thank you. And Eben?
Thank you, Dr. Bro. Wow. I mean, that's amazing. You're doing an amazing job. And for everybody on the call, not only is she doing all those things, she's doubling down now on a commitment to making sure that we're using the resources in the communities in which we serve. So that's what today is all about. Letting you know that Bowie State is open for business. And the next person that you're going to hear from is Steve Joust, the Procurement Director for Bowie State, to talk about, how to get engaged with Bowie, how to get pre-qualified, where to find the forecast, all of those things. So with that, I'll stop and I'll turn it over to Steve.
Again, Stephen Jost, Director of Procurement. University. I'm sorry. I've been with Bowie State University for 31 years. I've been a firsthand witness to the growth of the university.
Hey, Steve, not to cut you off. I can't see you. We can't see you. Can you fix your screen? We can't see you.
Did that help?
Not yet. Steve's a really handsome guy, so we want to see him.
Yeah, I'm in there now.
Still can't see me? I'm able to see myself on the screen.
Yeah, we can't see you, but I'll tell you what, go ahead and go, and we'll try and work it out as you're talking.
Okay, fantastic. Again, I've seen Bowie grow firsthand over the last 30 plus years, and it is absolutely amazing that growth. And I'm so proud to still be at Bowie and witness the great things that are still yet to come. Again, welcome to the Bowie University Bowie BIC Procurement Opportunities webinar. Next slide, please.
There you go. We can see you now.
You can see me now. Great.
We can see you now.
Next slide, please.
Okay, now that's right. There we go. Sorry, Steve.
Problem. First thing I'd like to discuss is, if we go back one slide, the mission for Bowie State University. Bowie State University's procurement department purchases the best quality goods and services using best value practice, which don't always select the lowest bid price. We're looking for value as well as a combination of price. This office ensures that the university's procurements are conducted in a fair, a competitive, and a transparent environment. And the Bowie State University Procurement Department is responsible for the purchase of all maintenance, construction, and services as well. Next slide, please.
And can you turn your microphone
Bowie State
on
University.
I'm sorry, Steve, go ahead.
Sure. Bowie State University Procurement Department is a senior buyer, our purchasing manager, and also in procurement, responsible for a number of other different units. For the university's credit card program, responsible for our asset management department, our mailroom, and again, property control. So I'm involved in a lot of different scams. I can not only, lead the procurement staff, but I lead very next slide, please. Card, the Bowie State University, the purchase card. That program was established to help simplify procurement. $5,000. Many years ago, we did a study to.
Steve, your audio is breaking up really bad. Your audio is breaking up pretty bad. We're hearing like every third word.
Yeah.
Lisa, anything you can do with that?
I think it's where you're recording from. Is your microphone covered by any chance? By a light or paper or something? Talk to us.
No, I'm operating off my laptop.
Yeah, that's very good. That sounds very good right now. Wherever you do, that sounds very good. That sounds not good.
Okay, the purchasing program is based on the state of Maryland's. Years ago, the state did a study to say what the cost was. And that was the time an individual creates a requisition.
Hey Steve, all right, we're still having a problem. Do you want to try and log out and then log right back in?
Let me try that.
Okay.
Yeah. Our apologies.
And Eben, I also have a backup contacting Steve. If he's not able to improve his audio, we have someone else who can present the presentation. I apologize for the technical difficulties we're having on our side.
Sure, no, that's fine. And while we're waiting for Steve to log back in, I'll just say, so the purchasing card is one of those aspects in procurement that a lot of people forget about. But it's a great way to start doing business with the university because, they're able to make purchases up to, like as Steve said, services costing up to $5,000. So it's a great way to start a relationship with the university. And then when Steve logs back in, we'll figure out all of the how many card holders there are, but getting to know those card holders would be a good way to get started, and to have a better understanding of the who's who and what the university buys at that level. Okay.
It seems like a built-in flexibility factor for the procurement community, even.
Sure, and it's a quick way for them to buy goods and services under that dollar amount without having to go through a traditional RFP or RFQ or get several quotes. So
right.
In general, while we're waiting, if there's some questions I can answer, let me just give you a general overview. In doing business with the university, it's important that you are listed among organizations that are eligible for bids when we go out to bid for various opportunities that are coming along for the university. Steve put up his contact information on the first couple of slides. I would encourage you to reach out and make sure that you understand the process that he hopes to describe to you today. But if for any reason we're not able to connect today, I encourage everyone to connect with the procurement office to learn how, as a public university, there are certain processes we must follow in order to do business with organizations above a certain amount. From time to time when I'm out and about in the field, and going to events. I will hear from some of our small business owners an interest in working with the university. And I always start with the procurement office because as a public university, we have certain policies and procedures we have to adhere to, unlike that are different than our independent institutions. So I encourage you to build a relationship with the procurement office, understand the bidding process, how you can find out about bids as we move forward in our new initiatives, and encourage you to apply. And we hope that we will continue to see more small businesses, minority businesses doing business with the organization, with the university. And I'm wondering if Steve has logged back on at this time.
I think he's in the process of doing it, Dr. Bro. He's just been admitted.
Steve, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Much
Yeah,
better.
that's better. That's a lot
Okay,
better.
great.
Thank you.
I guess we just not do the video. If you can hear me, it's more important than seeing
Sure.
me.
Great.
Okay, so again, we need to start over, or I mean, we can only go back. Need to go back.
You were finishing up on the purchasing card. I talked a little bit about that. I think we can move to the next slide.
Okay, next slide. Thank you, Even. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, we have purchasing thresholds. Bowie State University is part of the University System of Maryland, as I'm sure you are all well aware of. And we abide by system-wide procurement policies and procedures. So we have procurement thresholds. Purchases are less than $25,000 are considered small, non-competitive procurement orders. And basically they're processed in one of two ways. We encourage the departments to use the purchasing card for purchases up to $5,000. Again, there's a great savings administrative cost-wise to use the credit card as opposed to having to create purchase requisitions. If for some reason we need to work with a vendor and they're able to accept the corporate purchasing card, then we will use our purchase requisition and turn that into a purchase order. Next slide, please. Purchases in excess of $25,000 but less than $200,000 are competitively bid. And what the university does in this situation is we obtain a minimum of 2 written quotes, preferably 3 written quotes, and our buyers have the discretion to obtain more than 3 quotes if they think it's in the best interest of the university to do so. Next slide, please. Purchases in excess of $200,000 require the competitive sealed proposal method, and that usually is a request for proposal or an invitation for bid. And all purchases for services construction exceeding $1 million must be approved by the Board of Public Works, the State Board of Public Works, which is comprised of the governor, the comptroller, and the treasurer before we're allowed to award a contract. Next slide, please. Procurements by cooperative purchasing agreements. So the university system was very fortunate back in 1999 to actually be delegated the authority by the state legislature to write our own procurement policies and procedures. So we took advantage of that to write those policies and procedures to the very best benefit of all the universities. In 2016, we went back and we modified those policies and procedures to bring them more up to date than what they were originally in 1999. And the legislature approved the modification. So one of the things that we were able to use now are cooperative purchasing agreements. And these are agreements that have been established by other agencies, other government agencies. We can use federal government contracts as a procurement vehicle. We can use state contracts established by the state government, county and municipal governments as well. And most importantly, other institutions of higher education. One thing that's been very beneficial to the university is that, again, being part of the university system, the flagship is the University of Maryland College Park. Several years ago, they moved into the Big Ten Conference, which is made up of a number of large universities, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, Wisconsin, and they all use their buying power and establish contracts that each of the institutions within the Big Ten are able to use. And Bowie's been able to benefit from that on a number of occasions. So again, we like to go out and conduct our own procurements as often as we can to help support the local business, but sometimes there are procurements that just are so big that, that we can't accomplish them locally. And so we're able to use the benefit of the cooperative purchasing agreements again, which have the buying power of many large, substantial institutions. Next slide, please. Bowie State University's bidders list. I'm sure everybody today that is not currently conducting business with the university will be interested in this particular slide. We do maintain a vendor file. We listed below is the website where you can obtain our bidders list. When you get that bidders list, fill it out, send it back to me, and attach any information about your company that you would like for us to know about. We'll enter that into a database, and we break that database up in a number of different ways. But essentially, whenever we have a match for a particular procurement with how we have your business classified, if we're going to advertise that procurement, that solicitation to the general public, we'll give you a heads up in advance. Next slide, please. Minority business enterprise. Obviously, this is a very important slide. It's the policy of the university to conduct and to encourage and to solicit business with minority business enterprises. It's the goal of Bowie State University to achieve a minimum of 29% minority business participation through our direct contract awards. And when it's appropriate and we put out a request for proposals or an invitation for bid, we will actually establish sub-goals for minority participation in addition to the 29%. It goes to the prime contractor. Next slide, please. Okay, this is what I'm sure a lot of folks were interested in today. These are anticipated procurements that the university is 99.9% sure we're going to move forward with during the course of the fiscal year. And I'm hopeful there'll be additional ones as well that we haven't quite identified as of yet. The first one, we took advantage of, as I was talking earlier about a cooperative purchasing agreement. We needed to replace our athletic field in our stadium, and we needed to replace it quickly. Our first home football game is in the middle of September, so we did not have time to go out and put that out to bid. So we used a cooperative purchasing agreement so that we could replace our athletic turf field. Second project on here, and these are all based in the projected order of when we think we'll be putting these solicitations out to bid. So that, again, we've already accomplished the athletic turf field replacement. Within the October to December timeframe, it is our intent to go out and enter into a contract with a firm who specializes in programming so that they can create a study for us, which will justify the university to be able to go in to our Proctor building and convert all of our education labs. The next one is we're expanding our transportation bus lot. It's a construction project. Next one is replacement of the boilers in our Henry Administration building. And you're seeing the projected costs of those procurements as well. And then we also want to update our BSU ADA transition plan. Next slide, please. Facilities building office space renovation. We're going to, we've outgrown our facilities building. My office and the procurement operation is in the facilities building. And we are going to construct a modular building, which we attach to the existing building. And we will probably be doing that again in the October to December timeframe. Classroom door access controls are going to be replaced in all of the buildings that where we have classrooms. Proctor building boiler replacement, we replaced all our boilers about 20 years ago. We did them all at the same time. And over the last several years, we've been replacing a number of them as they've come close to their life expectancy. So as you can see, we're going to have at least two boiler replacement projects this year. And we are going to replace the athletic ticket booth, which is in our student center. And then the last project that we have that we're definitely sure about doing this year is we're going to need to upgrade the sanitary lines on campus. The fact that we're opening up the new student residence facility generated an immediate need for having to increase the capacity of a lot of the sanitary lines on campus. And since we're doing that, we're going to continue the expansion and the renovation as well. So that is all I have at this point in time. Even if we have any questions, I'd be more than glad to answer any questions.
Sure. We've got a couple in the chat, and I will give people a couple of minutes to ask more questions. I had a couple myself, and so I'll just run through them really quickly. How do you contact your credit card holders, and how are they identified anywhere, and how many of them are there? Do you know?
We have about 100 corporate purchasing card holders on campus. And when you say how does who contact them?
So if I'm a vendor that, wanted to market my services to one of those credit card holders, and are they categorized by what they buy, or is it just that in the division or agency or office that they're in?
That's how we use the bidders list. We will
Okay.
then reach out once we have that bidders list. We share every application that we get back. We share that with the appropriate department. So, there might be a fit. We have about 80 different departments on campus. We get the bidders list back. We look at what the area of expertise is for that vendor. And then we will share that information with the appropriate departments on campus that will be a good fit. And the vendors will then, the departments will then reach out to those vendors when they have a need, and they'll solicit the bids or the quotes at that point in time.
Okay, so obviously being on that bidders list is very important.
Extremely important.
Got it. All right. 2, what type of MBE certifications do you accept? Is it just MDOT? Is it WMATA? Is it, Capital Region Supplier Council? Which MBE certifications do you all accept?
The University System of Maryland has to abide by the state of Maryland's regulations when it comes to MBE certification. And so the state of Maryland only accepts certification through the state of Maryland through MDOT.
Okay. All right. So you got to be MDOT certified.
Yes, it helps to have the other certifications, but it does not, the university does not, it's not able to help us towards our goals and objectives of reaching procurement mandates.
Got it. And I saw earlier in one of the slides, you had your link to, or the extensions for the phone numbers, but what's the main line to procurement if they needed to reach out?
There is not really an actual main line.
Okay.
You can reach out to my number, which is the 301-860-4212 number.
Okay, got it.
And if I can't answer a question, or if I think it's more appropriate for one of the buyers to do that, then I'll transfer them to the appropriate individual.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Does your office have a listing of buyers, and are those buyers segregated out by what they buy and purchase?
No, unfortunately, and maybe I shouldn't use those words, unfortunately, but that procurement list that I put up there, they're my only 2 buyers, my purchasing manager and my senior buyer. Right now, we only have 2 buyers.
Okay.
They buy everything. They base what they buy is based on the dollar amount of the procurement.
Got it. And I think you answered this, and I put the link to this in the chat, but when your procurements are live and they hit the streets, are you just advertising them on your Office of Procurement page, or are you also advertising them maybe on like email and marketplace, other places?
Both email and marketplace and the university's procurement website.
Okay, got it. All right. So now we've got some more questions in the chat that I'm gonna go to. First question is, any order that's over 25,000, we have to get a second quote. Oh, I guess that's your person. You can't split the order, right? Obviously we can't do that.
Definitely no splitting of orders.
Yeah, it's a big no.
We're audited. Right. We're audited on a very frequent basis by the system, by the state legislative auditors, and that's one of the first things they look at are splitting orders to stay under a threshold.
Sure. Second question: where can we find this forecast? And I guess the 2 slides that you have here, this is essentially what you have going on right now, or is there another more robust forecast out there somewhere?
That's pretty much it for now. As I said earlier, I'm pretty sure we'll be adding to that list as time goes on. But right now, those are the definites. Okay.
Next question is, how are we registered to get on the vendors list? Is there a link? And is there a link that we can put in the chat?
Website. We already had that slide.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So that'll be available in the slide. They want your number in the chat. We'll take care of that. All right, here's a good one. Are there any professional support services contracts in the forecast or anything that's coming up that folks could potentially bid on?
Other than what's on this list right now, these are the only things I know that are definite. And now, like,
Okay.
again, it's not unusual during the course of the year, you know, somebody's going to identify a need that they're not aware of right now. And when they identify that need, then obviously there will be a need to go out and conduct a procurement. I just don't know those things right now.
Okay, that's fine. Next question.
That's why it's good to be on the bidders list, because if you're on
Yeah.
the bidders list, we see that need, we're going to reach out to the companies that are on the bidders list and solicit quotes from them.
Okay. Next question. So how would someone locate any current contracts so they can start positioning themselves for, you know, that recompete or rebid? Do you have a current contracts list?
We have a list of contracts that are current.
Excuse me, Steve, could you speak up a little bit? You're very hard to hear.
Sure.
Thanks.
We have a list of contracts that are current, that are annual contracts that are currently in place at this point in time. And again, if any of those were going to be rebid, we would have added them to this projected list for FY22 procurements.
Okay. All right. Next question. In the near future, will Bowie be taking advantage of the BGE or Pepco rebates for interior LED lighting for energy savings?
We have actually retrofitted lighting on campus in the last, I believe, 7 years. So I don't think I could say yes to that question. I can't rule it out. But since we did the retrofit about 7 years ago, I don't think it's likely that we'll be looking to do it again this soon.
Okay. All right. I think we have answered everybody's questions so far. The other thing is, can you repeat your direct number again?
Sure. My number is 301-860-4212.
4212. 301-860-4212.
That's correct.
Okay, got it. Were there any other questions that you all may have while we got Steve here? Okay. Well, listen, we really appreciate everyone for joining us today. As we said at the top, Bowie State is open for business. And more importantly, we are very interested in doing business with, you know, the folks in our community. And to do that, we have to know who you are, right? So step one is getting on that bidders list. Step two is figuring out what we buy and when we buy it. Step three is getting to know the buyers and having a more formal relationship with Steve and reaching out to him and the folks in his office to see, you know, how you can get engaged. And then four is just to continue to monitor the forecast, the website that we put up, the link to that website, and just making sure that you're staying in tune. Because as Steve said, sometimes during the course of the year, there's going to be some things that are going to just happen really quickly, and they're going to need to access people quickly. So make sure that, you know, you do steps 1 through 4. And I think, Lisa, you were going to say something?
Well, I was just reminded, Steve, that I've had a number of entrepreneurs ask me about how to get services and products into the bookstore at Bowie State. And I understand that that is handled under a separate contract. And I'm suspecting there may be other parts of the university where you're not the person to go to for procurement. It's bookstore, or it's the Saxby's, or could you say a word about, you know, how companies can kind of thread that needle?
We do actually have a contract. We've outsourced our bookstore operation for a number of years. We work with Follett, and we can't dictate Follett who they buy for. They buy off of national contracts. So you
contact them directly if you're interested.
Yeah, they would have to contract Follett directly, and they could contact Wade Henley who is the Vice President for Auxiliary Services. And his telephone number is 301-860-3714.
Thank you, Steve. Also,
Sure.
as an aside, I see.
I'm seeing myself back, I'm seeing myself back up on the screen now. Can
Oh, there
you
you
guys
go.
see me as well?
Hold on.
I don't know how I popped back up, but I saw myself just pop back up.
Sure. There you go. And as an aside, since we're talking about certification, I see my good friend Christopher Kelly, who's the outreach coordinator for Supply Development and Diversity Division. They are the primary advocate for small, local, minority, disadvantaged businesses seeking to do business with Prince George's County government. So, it would be good to get certified with his office as well. I will put their information in the chat. So if you're looking to do business in Prince George's County as well, this is the person to talk to. So thank you for joining us, Chris. I think here's got a couple more questions. One question, is there a fee associated with getting onto the bidders list?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Is there a fee associated with getting onto the
No,
bidders?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I saw that someone had posted in the chat that they weren't able to access the link that I put on the slide earlier. If they go to Bowie's main website, which is www.bowiestate.edu, that will take you to the main website. If you go under Offices and Services and you click that button, it has a drop-down list of all the offices on campus. Just go to P, hit P, it'll bring up Procurement, and you can bring up the Procurement website, and that will take you through the process to gain access to the bidders list.
Great, thank you for that, Steve.
Sure.
All right, I'm checking to see if there are any more questions. Will we be sending a copy of the event and contact information? We will be sure to get that out to everybody that's registered.
That's correct. We will do that. And also we will post this entire recording on the bowiebusinessrecovery.com website so that folks can take a look at it all again and look at the slides if they want to see that instead of the copy that we send them. We do appreciate the interest though in this. And Steve, thank you so much for giving us this rundown. I think as you and I discussed when we were planning, the timing of this is pretty good because this is the time of the year when the university does start to think about, what its forecast is. So we're trying to give our participants a little bit of a jump on it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
One last question that just popped up. Do we have a list of sub-consultants who are approved from Bowie State?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Do you have a list of sub-consultants who are approved from Bowie State?
No, like I said, we keep the database, we send the applications out to the departments. I wouldn't have that information handily, readily available.
Okay, all right. Now we got a couple more questions coming in. Do we currently have a transportation contract? And if so, who's the holder of that contract?
We have our own transportation department on campus. We have our own cars, we have vans, we have SUVs, and we have motor coach buses. So no, it's all in-house.
Okay, all right, that's fine. And is there a need for fire protection, engineering, design, and installation work?
We don't do design work at campus. Again, one of the I guess it's a benefit, and sometimes it's not always a benefit, but we have to work design, architecture, engineering, design work is all handled by the University System of Maryland Service Center on behalf of all of the 11 individual institutions. So we don't do design work at the campus level.
Okay, great. All right, well, I think we've answered everybody. Everybody, well, we got one more that just came in. Well, apparently we got a seamstress. Is there a need for sewing or sewing lessons or alterations?
Not that I'm aware of right now, but fill out the bidders list application, send it to me, and I'll see if anybody has a need for it.
Okay. Don, I might need your help with something. So drop me a line. Thank you everybody for that. Lisa, do you want to just give, since we got a couple of minutes to talk a little bit about the wonderful things you're doing at the Bowie BIC?
Oh, I'd love to. This is a great opportunity to get in front of some of the real blood, sweat, and tears of the contracting community today. So first, I want to thank everyone for logging in and spending a little time with us to talk about what's happening at Bowie State. And as I said at the very beginning, which some may have missed, this is particularly important to the Bowie Business Innovation Center as an independent business accelerator located on the campus of Bowie State University. We're really a hub for business growth, and we work primarily with technology companies and government contractors. We are also the location of the award-winning 8A Accelerator, the first in America, which we will be launching our next cohort in the fall in the new facility. So we're excited about that. And that's something actually that even was one of the thought leaders on that whole process, because we discovered that we had quite a lot of opportunity. And we've had close to 60 companies go through our 8A Accelerator program at this point. And they've already reported $36 million of new contracts since they went through the program, which is conducted in collaboration with the SBA. We really focus on mentoring, networking, and the mechanics of being a government contractor using your 8A certification. So that's something that's very special that we will continue to do. Bowie BIC has cyber companies that they work with, many of whom work closely with Maryland TEDCO because they're technology companies. We have paid student internships, and we will be celebrating our 10th anniversary of Bowie State University in the spring of 2020. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you,
we appreciate that.
And of course, we have a board of directors of business leaders, which keeps Crystal Clark and me, the staff of two, completely on our toes. We wear ballet slippers most days. We didn't tell you that, but you keep us on our toes, and it's just really quite an exciting time. All kidding aside, for both the city of Bowie, Bowie State University, and Prince George's County.
Thank you, Lisa. We got somebody who snuck one more question in here. Is there a need for landscaping services, or is this also something that's done in-house?
We do have a department grounds crew on campus. And if you've ever been to our campus, you would know they do a fantastic job. They do a wonderful job. All right, we have a beautiful campus, we really do. But no, it is in-house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question, we got one more. What email, actually a couple more coming in. What email do we use to send the bidders list to?
Send it to me, sjost@bowiestate.edu.
Okay, got it. And your email's already in the chat.
I think it's in this. I think it's in here.
Yeah, it's in the chat link, so we got that. All right, got a couple more questions. Guys, you guys are waiting to the last minute.
Really?
We already cut the lights on. We jingling the keys, right? It's time to go. Okay. Oh, but no, this is fine. Just joking. So next question is, who can you talk to for dumpster service or trash removal?
We already have a current contract. We have 2 more years left on it.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Wilburn, you're going to need to tickle that to circle back around in a couple of years. Next question, is there need or for schedule or need schedule for IT procurements?
I don't have anything from IT right now. I reached out to each of the vice presidents when I put this anticipated procurement list together, and I did not get anything back at this point in time from our IT department. So I'm saying no, there isn't an immediate need for anything right now.